Hey, hey, mamas. All right. I was thinking about this week what I wanted to talk about. And just as things would be, I had a girlfriend ask me a question, and I was like, that's it. So, in the bio of Born into Motherhood, I have something along the lines of like supporting moms through matrescence. And she was like, what is matrescence? That's it. We need to talk about what is matrescence. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Dr. Piper Grant. I am a licensed clinical psychologist. I am the founder of Born into Motherhood and also a mama of two girls. In this space, we chat, we talk about all things motherhood, the good, the difficult, the joys, and the not so joyful moments. I really seek to validate and support moms through the entire journey of motherhood. And so very timely, but also appropriately, matrescence. That is what we need to be talking about, what matrescence is. And so many people do not know that word. I genuinely did not know the word matrescence until I became a mom. And I was like, what the heck is happening to me? And I found a word, and it is incredible how when you find something that describes what you are going through, it can actually ground you and root you and validate you and really put you on a journey of support as well. And that was what the word matrescence gave me. And also what I think is important, or why I think it is important to share it with you. So I've pulled out this book. You can see that this book is very well used. I have lost the cover of it because I have read it and used it that much. But this book is actually titled Matrescence, and it's by Lucy Jones. I think this came out in 2023. I read it soon after it came out. I did not know about this book. I actually was in a bookstore, went to the bookshelf to just look around motherhood, like what is here. And all of the books, I'm not kidding, most of the books, okay, let's not say all the books. Most of the books were all about the child, right? Pregnancy, how to support you through pregnancy, and then they became about child development. This is a massive bookstore. And then I find this little sliver next to the pregnancy books, and I think there's probably this much on the bookshelf, in which I start finding these books around motherhood. Really what is the physiological changes that happen to us in motherhood, the spiritual changes, the emotional changes, the psychological changes, the relational changes, all of those things. And I picked up this book, and I started reading it even in the bookstore. And this is in the introduction. I'm going to read it to you again. This is from Matrescence by Lucy Jones. This is obviously not my writing. But she says, no one was talking about pain, about birth as an emotional process, about how it felt to have grown another human, to be two people at the same time, and then to be vacated, to push a person into being. I knew nothing about the emotional and psychological transition that follows birth. I had no idea that something was happening to my brain, that it was literally changing shape. I had no idea what was coming, the anxiety, the life-exploding romance, the guilt, the transcendence, the terror, the psychedelia, the loss of control, the rupture of self. So instead, for a while, I acquiesced. Okay, this, to me, when I read this is literally page 9 in the introduction. It is lined, starred, all the things. I was like, holy shit, that is it. I'm sold. I am buying this book. Okay, so I had actually heard about the term matrescence before getting this book. But then what I want to share with you is that how Lucy quotes Dana Raphael, Dana Raphael is she's the one who coined the term matrescence. And I want to share out of here how the quote that Lucy has from Raphael. The critical transition period which has been missed is matrescence, the time of mother becoming. During this process, the rite of passage changes occur in the woman's physical state, in her status within the group, in her emotional life, in her focus on daily activities, in her own identity, and in her relationships with all those around her. So what is happening during matrescence? So matrescence is really where that process in which our brain is changing. It's not just the hormonal changes, but I think what this word really does a nice job of really encompassing how we as a being are going through this transition that transforms how we exist in the world, how the world interacts with us, and then how we then are received by the world because of the way it interacts with us, and that in turn influences the way that we then walk through the world. I think, just like I said earlier, is that when we have an understanding, my hope is that when we have an understanding of a term that really resonates with you, it hopefully gives you some grounding or some understanding or some validation or some ways to support if needed. I know for me, one of the things that when I'm speaking with women, whether they be clients and or friends, when I bring up this term matrescence and they're a little bit like, whoa, I never even heard about that. I love to suggest some journaling exercises or just some ideas like of what to do with it. One of my favorite journaling prompts is just like, I am becoming blank, right? With motherhood, I am becoming, or as a mother, I am becoming, or through matrescence, I am becoming. What it really starts to encompass is like, what is this transition? And then to start thinking about, okay, what has matrescence? If you can think about the relationship to adolescence, right? Matrescence, or even I would like start saying perimenopause too. You know, it's like these are major life transitions that are affecting all levels of our body. I like to think of it as like then doing an exercise of like, how is my, if you are spiritual, religious, whatever it might be, how is my spiritual impacted through this process of matrescence? How is my physical body? How is my emotional body? How is my relationship to self and others? How is the world? How do I feel like the world's impacted me, you know, or like changed? I know for myself, like when I think about it, you know, becoming a mom changed how the world interacted with me. Suddenly I was like a mother. I remember like hearing for the first time people calling me a mom, and I was like, whoa, that's so weird. And it changed my status. I don't mean that in like in a horizontal way, but like in a vertical way. It's like suddenly I'm not just a woman, I'm a mother. And actually no longer, actually to me at some point it felt like I was no longer even like associated with just being a woman. It was suddenly I was like mother. Many women talk about like through matrescence, it's almost like they become desexualized, right? There's no longer, they're not even thinking about themselves anymore more as like a sexy or attractive woman or one that is wanted by society anymore. It's like suddenly we are a mother. And so and that changes per cultures, that changes where we are in the world, that changes by age as well when we have our children. But really taking yourself through a process of like how, if now thinking about this term of matrescence, what has the process of matrescence been like for you? And what have you gained through it? And has there been losses through it? What's been enjoyable? What's been difficult? If you think back, if you're kind of later stages, if you've had children a few years ago and stuff, like looking back, what would you tell yourself in the beginning of matrescence? What would you want to offer to yourself? What would be the hand that you extend? I think that would all be really beautiful. They're really beautiful processes in terms of getting in touch with your own journey through matrescence. If you have liked this, video, if there's anything that resonates with you, if you have any questions, drop a comment down below, send me an email. Please like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram at born.into.motherhood, and we will see you around. Bye.